Mounce, BBG, Chapter 16, Sentence 8. First thing to notice is you do have that post-positive gar, so you're going to move that to the front as usual. And Lego, as soon as you see that omega, but you know that it's the lexical form as well, that's first person singular from Lego, and it's I say. All right, so for I say, and then you have whom in, you ought to recognize that iota is telling you that it's dative. And of course, that's that second person personal pronoun in the plural, so it's to you, to y'all, or to you all, if you want to say it like that, that's fine. That and hati again, either that or because. If I haven't already said it, let me say this to you. If you're trying to figure out whether hati is that or because, there are a couple of general rules that will help you. One is that if it's introducing indirect discourse, in other words, I told him that, I was responding that, I answered that, I said that, where you're not giving an exact quote, but it's essentially like quotation marks, then you're going to translate it as that. And of course, in this case, it follows Lego, or I say. So what is the content of what he says? I say that, and the rest of the sentence is what he is saying. I say that, and here's X, which is the content, everything that follows the hati. Now, if hati is not introducing indirect discourse, and especially if it's in a letter where an argument is being made or a discussion is being pursued that is trying to make a point, more often than not you're going to be translating hati as because. So while you have exceptions to both of those general rules, easy thing is if you've got some kind of communication verb, you're probably introducing indirect discourse, probably going to translate it as that. If it's in an argument, almost all the time you're going to translate it as because. So here it's going to be that. Next thing is the angels. But what you really have is a noun clause or subject clause, because you have this outone, and that you should recognize omega nu immediately as genitive plural. And as soon as you see genitive plural from autos, that it ought to be there or of them, right? So the angels of them, or their angels. For I say to you that their angels in heaven, or in the heavens, however you want to translate that. Technically, yeah, it's plural here, but when we talk about heaven, we talk about heaven, not the heavens, most of the time. So that is just not a big deal. All right. The next piece is a little tougher because because of all, or you're trying to figure out because or through. Well, recognize that this is a genitive, and because this is a genitive, it declines like a third declension. And boy, I have a hard time highlighting those last two letters. But because it's a genitive, you're going to translate this as through. So through all, or through all things, right? So through all things, that doesn't really help you. But the idea is, as an expression, it means always. It's through everything, through whatever happens, is kind of the idea here. So, if you were to translate it through all things or through everything, that would be fine. But the idea of the expression is that it's no matter what's going on, they always do whatever. So, in any case, your subject is the angels. So your verb, obviously, since it's plural, is going to need to be third person plural. Always say I'm an Eddie Usi, and here we have Usi. So from blepo, which is I see, so it's they see, right? Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So the angels see always. The prosopon, and hopefully you've prosopon is face, and of the Father of me, right? So that shouldn't be too hard, but patros from pater. But again, if you looked at patros, you looked at the end, and you said, something working for me. That's looking like a, nominative singular for some reason, and pater just wasn't hitting you in the head. Well, look over the definite article and cheat a little bit and see that that's a genitive singular, and certainly that definite article has to agree with that noun. So you're looking at a genitive singular. So anyway, it's the face of the Father of me, but of course, we're probably going to go with my Father, right? So the face of my Father. Then you have a definite article right before a prepositional phrase, and of course, Mounce is going to ask you to turn that into a relative pronoun, introducing a relative clause. I would just say make it more than a definite article and go with the one. So again, in this case, the face of my Father, the one in heaven. Mounce is going to say something like the face of my Father who is in heaven, or in the heavens, however you want to translate that. Either way. So going back over it, something like, for I say to you that their angels in heaven always see the face of my Father, the one in heaven. Something like that, or who is in heaven. Either one of those is just fine.